think a residential hospice and hospices in general are another choice for people at end of life, that if they're not able to be at home, a place where that whole person care is at the center of everything we do. It's our philosophy of care. Build it and they shall come is kind of what we did. We opened our doors almost 12 years ago, which is hard to believe, and we were in our original hospice that was 7,000 square feet. We were the 5th hospice in all of Ontario to open, so it was really a new concept in Ontario and really all of Canada. I would have been the same as the next person that would have run as fast as everyone when you talk about death and dying, but it was my time in the community and also in the cancer clinic that really showed me it's the most rewarding work you can do. Because of all the programming we do, I think people think that we are just beds for end-of-life care, and we're so much more. There's a day wellness program where patients come, volunteers pick them up, and they come for the day. It's a really great program because it lets people be with other people that may be in their last year of life. And it really does stabilize and keep people well. We've seen it through the years. From that, we have a large outreach program, and that program is dedicated palliative physicians, clinical nurse specialists, and psychosocial, spiritual, which we like to call supportive care, to really help that patient and family with their emotional and spiritual needs, because that's a big part of that whole person care that we do. Bereavement is a huge part of what we do, right from the diagnosis of someone with a life-limiting illness to that patient and the family, because they're experiencing loss right at that time of diagnosis. So we do get involved and we journey with that patient and family.
So she had the surgery, and that was actually July the 5th that she had the surgery. And 4 days later, they discharged her and said, we'll see you in a couple weeks to discuss the results. She came home and started getting really sick.
Huron County has been identified as the county most in need of a residential hospice in the entire Southwest Land. It is the vision of the South Huron Hospital Foundation to provide that residential hospice. But to build Jessica's House, our South Huron residential hospice, we need the community's support.
She was in a really small hospital room, and it was kind of a dark, depressing little room. We're in a corner. But even then, she said to me one time, the best thing about this is we've been able to have these sleepovers. What I've heard is most of them are beautiful, bright places. And where Jess was not beautiful and bright. It was crowded and I don't know, it was depressing. There was no place for us as a family to go. Every day we were grieving because you're getting test results that you want to be different, and there was no place for us to grieve over those test results. So that was difficult. We weren't giving up hope, right? Like, no matter, like they said, all this chemotherapy only has a 30% chance of working. And we said, we're gonna make it work.
With your support, our community can provide an expanded home visiting program, an expanded bereavement support program, new educational and emotional support services for children, and a local residential hospice at the heart of it all.
I truly think it's because you need to build a trust and a relationship with the care team, because it's the most vulnerable time in a patient's and also in a family's life. So I think that is building that trust. So for us, we get to know that patient and family when they're still well. It's also the fact that, when that bereaved person does walk through the door, not always is our bereavement clinician able. She may be in the middle of a session, so a volunteer can take that patient and sit with them and just be open to listen. We have about 50 volunteers that have been with us 10 years, which is incredible. It's amazing the talent and the desire in your own community.